CSR2 is the most popular mobile racing game of the last decade, and now, 7 years after its release, it's getting a sequel. Now, CSR3 has been revealed in a pretty sneaky way, so most people still don't know that it actually exists, but in this video we're gonna go over some of the biggest highlights of CSR3 that we have seen so far. So, CSR3 is currently in early access, which is the reason why you don't see it on your app store unless you're from Malaysia or Singapore. However, a friend of the channel, TechX, actually made a video tutorial for you to be able to play the game yourself, so make sure to check it out. The link is in the description if you want to try out CSR3 for yourself. Now, I'm thinking of streaming CSR3 on this channel, so if you guys want to see that, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Now, CSR3 looks absolutely stunning. I mean, it somehow manages to look even better than CSR2. Just like CSR2 though, the story appears to be as cliché as anyone would expect for a mobile game. I mean, let's be honest, it's not gonna break any new ground. I should point out that it's very likely that the progress from CSR2 will not transfer over to CSR3, meaning that you're gonna have to start from scratch. I mean, that kind of sucks, but let's be honest, the developers do have to make money somehow, and that's the way, you know, they're gonna do it. But CSR2 is still gonna, you know, it's not gonna be shutting down. You will still be able to play CSR2 normally. Okay, so CSR3 is going to be way more complex than CSR2 is. For one, it won't only be a drag racing game, because for the first time you're actually gonna be able to make turns, which is really exciting, and it's definitely gonna add more variety to the game in terms of stats. So you're finally gonna have a reason to pick an Alpine over a Hellcat in the game. There's also gonna be rolling starts, so the game is definitely going to have more variety than your usual mobile racing game. Speaking of variety, let's talk about the cars that we know will be in CSR3. Now, especially for an early access game, there are quite a bunch of cars in here already. But what I really want to point out is that the game just kind of feels Forza-esque. Let me explain that. Now, the starter cars are the new Mustang, the new Supra, and the Cayman GT4, which is all well and good, but if I'm being perfectly honest, those are some really fast cars to start the game off with. I mean, in my opinion, it feels much more satisfying to go from a slow car to a really fast car than to go from a really fast car to a car that's even faster, if you know what I mean. I mean, I like the lower tier cars in CSR2 is what I'm trying to say, and I hope that they will eventually add cars, you know, that are actually attainable for us normal peasants in real life. I do have to admit that I have another issue with the cars in CSR3, but it's not about the cars themselves, it's about the way that you get them. Now, in CSR2, the crate system was really good. Basically, you open the silver or the gold crate and you got a guaranteed car, but at least in this version, that doesn't appear to be the case. Now basically, you cannot buy any cars from the CSR3 showroom. You can only get them by obtaining enough blueprints, which you get by opening crates. Look, I'm not a massive fan of that, just because it feels like you're gonna have to spend a lot more money and to grind, but it does open up the possibility of, you know, the blueprints that you can actually get them from races as well, which would make sense, but somehow I just feel like it's gonna be a bit more microtransaction heavy than CSR2 was, and seeing how that was one of the best aspects of CSR2, that you could just get cars, you know, by opening crates in a very simple way, I just feel like that's needlessly complicated and feels quite expensive. At least that's my opinion so far, but obviously we're gonna have to wait and see if the system actually works. Now, in any way, that's gonna be about it for, you know, the biggest highlights of CSR3 so far. If you guys want to see more content on the game, I will be making that for sure, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more. In any way, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Jerry, and I'll see you next time. Take care.